McDonald's used to use tallow in their fryers.
Yeah, until like 92 or something.
Which is rendered beef fat and is very healthy for humans. It contains stearic acid, which is an 18-carbon saturated fat that is very beneficial for our mitochondria and healthy for humans. And then we switched to
canola oil, corn oil, soybean oil, hydrogenated soybean oil.
Because of the consumer demand. It was driven by this one very rich man who got heart disease and blamed it on the tallow from McDonald's. I'm not sure how he made the causal connection, but he was really instrumental in getting them to switch. And so now people think it's more beneficial. So a lot of restaurants are cooking in that stuff.
Lightly salt him. That's bite back. That's bite back right there. That's what they got. Yep, I like that.
Well, it's about a week out of the inauguration. Donald Trump is now back in office and is already...
Sorry. No! Why? Why? Do you really hate me that bad?
Doing what he promised to do. One of the things that is on his list is with the help of JFK is to change things as far as our food. I mean, we're already seeing some things that are being, like some of the dyes that are being removed off the listings, not to be the ingredients that are not to be used. One of the things that RFK had said that basically we should switch back to tallow, beef tallow in the fries. And I remember this because when I was a kid, and my cousin worked at McDonald's, and she, when we used to go visit her there, she would give me a bag of fries, and it was made with that beef tallow, and it was so delicious. And the years went on, and they went away from that. They said, "Oh, it's unhealthy. We can't be using this anymore. We can't be using the lard or the tallow or anything like that." And they switched to these seed oils that now we're finding out is not really good for us. Yeah, go figure. These are the errors and stuff like that when it comes down to it, it's people trying to make money. That's what it comes down to, at the risk of people's health, to make a buck to the situation. It's the same thing with, the recycling. Before, when I was younger, when we went shopping, we put stuff in the paper bags. Then they said the paper bags are bad because they, it's killing the trees. So we switched to plastic. And now, decades later, we're going back to paper again because they said the plastic's not good for the environment. You got to make a decision on these things, and you got to research them out properly. But even though there hasn't been anything put on paper as of yet from the White House, there is, certain chains are starting to change. There's one particular fast food chain that has decided that they're going to switch anyway, that they're going to go back to old school. And if you haven't heard of Steak and Shake, Steak and Shake is it's a really good place. They make a great burger, supposedly. Most of them are sort of a little east of New York-ish. You're talking about they're all over Florida, some in Alabama, Arkansas, Tennessee, Virginia, Missouri. There's some on the West Coast, Seattle, Denver. Mostly they're concentrated going toward, not really in the Midwest, but it's like right before the Midwest on there. And there's a lot of them there. There's maybe one or two in my area, not in New York City, but just on the outskirts, and in, of course, Philadelphia and down to Washington. But supposedly they make some good food. Yeah, it's fast food, But, the thing about it is, before we read this, there's nothing wrong with fast food. Yeah, it's fattening and all that. But if you eat it all the time, that's what the main problem is that, when it comes down to having a meal at home and cooking, we've gotten lazy to that. And that's the major problem. We don't take the time to sit there and say, okay, let me make up a salad. Let me make a meal or something to that nature. And have something a little bit more healthier than going out and get a quarter pounder with cheese and fries. You know, you do that as a Friday thing. My mother, when I was a kid growing up, my mother always had this situation. On Fridays, she used to say, kitchen closed. And that was the day, we eat out. And that's the way it used to be for most families. It was either a Friday or a Saturday. You took the time out because you had to do shopping over the weekend. You ate out, whether you took fast food in or basically maybe you gone to a nice restaurant, and got a nice meal out of it. But we're going to read into this. This is the New York Post. Steak and Shake to cook fries and beef tallow the authentic way. Fast food chain Steak and Shake announced that it will be cooking its shoestring fries in 100% beef tallow by the end of February 2025. Our fries will now be cooked in the authentic way, 100% beef tallow, in order to achieve the highest quality and best taste, Chris Ward, Chief Supplier Chain Officer for Steak and Shake, said in a statement. By the end of February, all of Steak and Shake restaurants will have shifted from frying in vegetable oil to frying in 100% all-natural beef tallow. The consumer wants the best and deserves the best, Kristen Briad, sorry if I mispronounced that, the Indiana-based chain Chief Global Development Officer, said in a statement. The switch to beef tallow will ensure that Steak and Shake is delivering its best possible fries, she said. Early on Thursday, the official Steak and Shake account on X posted, Steak and Shake will use 100% beef tallow, no cap. No cap is a slang term to mean no lie for real. The chain's following that post with another post saying by the end of February 2025, all locations will use 100% all natural beef tallow. If vegetable oil broke your heart, our tallow will make you fall in love again. Beef tallow is the fat that surrounds a cow's kidney. Now you know what it is. The Steak and Shake had earlier teased the transition to beef tallow on its X account. 3 days before the announcement, Steak and Shake posted a poll asking, cook with fries in 100% beef tallow. More than 90% respondents voted yes, but it was unclear how long the poll was open. Steak and Shake has 436 locations located throughout the United States, primarily in the South and Midwest. The chain was founded in 1934 and is also known for steak burgers. In recent years, the use of seed oils in cooking has drawn much controversy. In October, Robert F. Kennedy Jr. lambasted their use in fast food restaurants and a call to return using beef tallow. Did you know that McDonald's used to use beef tallow to make their fries from 1940 until phasing it out in favor of seed oils in 1990, Kennedy wrote in an October 21st post. The switch was made because saturated animal fats were thought to be unhealthy, but we've since discovered that seed oils are one of the driving causes of obesity epidemic. Obesity rates, he said, began to dramatically rise around the same time fast food restaurants switched from beef tallow to seed oils in their fryers. People who enjoy a burger with fries on a night out aren't to blame, and Americans should have every right to eat out at a restaurant without being unknowingly poisoned by heavy subsidized seed oil, Kennedy said. See here, this is what it is. For many years now, you have to remember, just my group, I'm 58. I just turned 58 this month. The food that I grew up with is not the same food they're feeding kids today. That McDonald's burger, that Whopper at Burger King, that fish sandwich that you get, those fries that you get are not the same. The way they cook them, the way they basically serve them, things have changed drastically in the years. Why? Because they said, because someone, Cliff Notes, and this is the problem around the world. This is not only in the U.S. Around the world, we have people who are so-called, and I'm holding up quotation marks, so-called scientists or health gurus who claim that say, well, we can't really use beef tallow in the fry because it's very unhealthy. It's going to make you fatter. It's better off using something like seed oils and stuff like that. It'll be healthier. What does that sound like? Them pushing you away saying, well, you can't eat meat. You can't eat eggs. Maybe you should try some bugs. Remember that? They try to say, well, we're going to eat bugs. We're going to eat, healthier stuff. We're going to get these fake meat products, Beyond Meat, and all these other things that are fake meat that is processed food. It's still processed food, and they try to put out these articles that says, well, yeah, it has sodium, it's processed, but it's a little healthier than getting cow meat. Not really, because you don't have the research to back that up. You have the fake research or the cliff notes, which basically some research has been done, and they pick and choose the segments that they want to put out there to you. Yeah, this happened. This is what was going on. We don't use the food pyramid anymore. They said, oh no, the food pyramid is bad. For those of you who don't know what the food pyramid is and you're watching out there, the food pyramid was, they taught you what you need to eat at what times of the day, how much grains, how much, orange juice, how much water, all those little healthy things, what you should do as far as eating breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And that's another thing. That's another major thing. Most people these days don't do 3 meals a day. Some people will skip a meal, will say, well, I'll have an energy bar, or I'll grab a Snickers, and that'll be fine. Or they'll take on some sort of energy shake, some chocolate shake, or some Slim Fast. Remember Slim Fast? I'll do that, and that will take care of my nutrients. But no, you're hurting yourself. You should have a meal. Sit and take that moment. See, this is why also people are stressed the fuck out. Is because they don't take a moment to themselves. I used to be in that category where I, used to freak the fuck out on things. I sometimes would skip a meal. And, that wasn't good for me. It wasn't good for me. It put me back into the situation where, it became a little unhealthy. I'm finally starting to get back into a good rhythm. After spending some time in the hospital and also in a rehabilitation center. I'm overweight. Yeah, of course. I lost a lot of weight. And I continue to. I'm starting to fit in some clothes I couldn't fit, about 2-3 years ago. The other day I had some baseball shirts and, I said, let me see, am I going to throw this out? Not. I put it on and it's like, oh my God, I fit in it again. It's been a while. It's this good baseball shirt. I didn't want to throw it out, but I fit it in again. But, the thing is that, there are those who are going to make a fucking buck out there and say, this is the healthier way to do it. No, we need to sit down and stop with all these seed oils and all this stuff on that and go back to the old school. Yeah, some of it, like the lard and shit like that. Yeah, but we could do that, use it within parameters. You don't have to, it's not a cuchi frito. If you know what a cuchi frito stand is, Hispanics know what that is.
Cuchi frito, cuchi frito, cuchi frito, cuchi frito, cuchi frito. Is that a pig's foot?
That is basically, especially if you go to Harlem here in New York, you'll find them all over the place. It's a place where they make a lot of greasy food, pork and chicken, and they'll have tongue. They'll have all. It's all done in a lard type now. I don't know what they're using now. They got to be using the seed oil now, but they're probably going to be going now that the whole beef tallow thing is coming back. They'll probably end up going back to the old school because that believe me, those were delicious food then. Yeah, I know it was a little unhealthy, but you do that once in a blue. On a late night, maybe coming out of the nightclub or something like that in that area, and you're like, because they're always open. That's the one thing. And they used to make a great burger there too. At some of those locations, I remember when I was a kid, and there was one up in Delancey Street. It's not there anymore. And when my mom used to go up shopping on Delancey Street, we would go there and she'd get me a burger and fries. And it was the best. Next to Woolworth's burger and fries. I mean, guys, tell me in the comments. I mean, if you're in my age group, the Woolworth's burger and fries. And then, of course, the ones at the Spanish Cuchi Frito stands. You're always hankering for one of those because it's just the right taste. And that's what it was. Some of the stuff today, like, I haven't had a Whopper in well over a decade. But when I was younger and I was a kid, me and my friends, when we had the weekends together at my friend Tommy's house, we used to go there. We used to go to Burger King. We used to get a Whopper. Sometimes we used to get the chicken sandwiches. Oh, my God. The chicken sandwiches. Holy crap. The chicken sandwich, the ones they make now at Burger King is not the same chicken sandwiches that they used to serve in the 1980s. And they used to have the ones, and my friend Warren, God rest his soul, he used to get one of each of the sandwiches because they used to make one. They had like a, what was it, Italian version, and then there was the one with cheese and stuff like that. Yeah, there was like what was it? It was like they put like regular cheese on it. That was one version. Then they had the Italian club, and then the old school one. The old school one was lettuce, tomato, mayo, and it was really good. And that's when the mayo was really good for that too, because the mayo is not as good as it used to be. But yeah, we used to do that. Other times we may hit the McDonald's because there was a McDonald's up the block from there. At the time, Papaya King was also another thing because Papaya King was there too. You could tell what neighborhood that was because from the stories it was on 86th Street. When we used to go to Staten, I live now, here in Staten Island. When we came out here to Staten Island, we used to go to Pizza King. Great pizza. They make some good pizza, and that's the thing. People always say, "Well, Chicago has the best pizza, and this place has the best pizza, and this place." Here's the thing about pizza. It's in the water. Now, I'm not knocking on Chicago. Those of you in Chicago, don't get mad. I love the Chicago pie. I kill for a Chicago pie. But a New York pizza itself, it's what, when they make the dough, they add water to it. It's the water. When I was living in Florida, a pizzeria opened up from a guy that was from Brooklyn. He had water bottled and shipped into him that he used on his dough on a constant basis. And he was big at that time period, and this was the 90s. There were articles getting written on him because he used to make some great pizzas. I mean, he used to make a Sicilian that literally was about 3 inches. The bread itself was like 1.5, 2, and then the toppings on top of it. He put vegetables, a lot of vegetables, stir fried and everything right on top. One slice alone was a meal. You couldn't eat a second one, no matter who you were. Guaranteed, you wouldn't eat a second one. You could have thrown a little bit of pepperoni on there, and you still that was too much. But that's what it was. And the same thing with the festivals here in New York. You come here to New York to the festivals, San Gennaro and stuff like that. The food is a little bit different now. They try to stay as the same as possible, but they've changed as well because of the way they're cooking a lot of this food. You know why Hispanics and Italians don't, you always hear, oh, the Hispanics got some great food. The Italians got some great food. There's gravy and stuff because they still cooking the way they were. They didn't change much. When, they started going seed oil and stuff like that, some of these families, they cheated. Yeah, that's right. They cheated. They used lard. Lard hasn't gone away. Beef tallow hasn't gone away. It's just basically they're told not to use it. But now we're going to get to use it again. Make French fries great again. That should be the slogan. Make America great again. Make French fries great again. And I agree with that 100%. And I hope that RFK Jr. will handle this properly. That the research is done because, I want to taste some of that old food once again, that taste. You don't forget that taste. You guys in my age group, you know what I'm talking about. You know what I talk about. And comment. Yeah, come on, guys. Let me know. Let me know what was your favorite. If you're from my age group, let me know what your favorite from back then was. If you grew up in the 1980s, 70s, 80s, let me know about the things you ate, on there. What was your favorite thing? Because, in each city, New York, you had your food, and that was best place. It was a lot there. But, you have places like Chicago and California and Texas. We all had different types of food that made us stand out. So let me know in the comments, what was your best out there? Don't forget to hit that like, share this video, and that little button on there, don't forget to hit that subscribe. We want to hear on there. You'll move us up in the algorithm. We do appreciate it. I want to thank you for those of you who have clicked on this video. We really do appreciate that. So until next time, thank you for tuning in, and bye-bye now.